This is the prize money, 35,000 US dollars for first place, 17,000 for second place, 8,500 for third, and fourth place is worth $4,200. I almost said gold. Loliot defeated Lin 3-0 in the quarterfinals. Infi 3-0 against Foggy just now. And next we shall have Moon versus 120, and then TH versus Focus to bring up the rear. That's all of today's matches for today. And then tomorrow on Sunday we'll have semi-finals, third place, and finally the grand finals. Every match, best of 5. 1 year ago, Happy won WGL Summer. Moon's Eyes Matters, hashtag. 1 year ago, Happy won WGL Summer. Half a year ago, or 8 months ago, WGL Winter was won by Lin, with Happy finishing second. This time around, Happy did not participate because of the lag, and we had Foggy to represent the European hopes and dreams. But more than whichever country each player is from, each player represents a race and represents a personality that we know so well now. 17 years of Warcraft 3 esports, and the level has never been higher. Moon, one of the greatest of all times, the highest prize money earner of Warcraft 3, with over $500,000 in winnings, is here to try and claim another victory. In the pre-game interviews, he said to everyone that qualified, in an interview where they do stimulate and ask for trash talk, Moon said, "Congratulations to everyone for making it this far. You have done very well. But this title is mine. You've seen my achievements this year. This one is mine as well." Demon Hunter first for Moon on Concealed Hill. And 120, I didn't see his hero yet, but it's probably Death Knight. Acolyte getting some scouts off to see if anything else is out of the ordinary. Undead players will always scout with an Acolyte, even if they see the same thing 50 times in a row. They don't only see whether you're secretly going Huntresses, but they also get to see your opening hero and your opening creeper out and your subsequent direction, potentially. DK gets the Rod of Necromancy from the tavern. Critter travels quite far away this time, which will delay creeping just a tad. Demon Hunter goes straight to this camp. Detonation on both skeletons and the DK. He needs to coil twice to finish the creep camp, otherwise he would not be done in time. And the Demon Hunter comes here. Good opening for Moon. You know, strong games are built on the foundation of good openings. We've seen that in Infi versus Foggy as well. And Moon is a genius and a hard worker, should not be forgotten, at crafting strong early games by meticulously studying everyone's replays, tendencies, and the possibilities of a matchup. He prepares for multiple permutations, multiple creep routes, multiple walking directions, and is there to disrupt them in the best possible way, to be having the upper footing right from the get-go, right from the start. Alice actually had a similar opening against 120. 120 was also stuck on level 1.2 DK with a single Ogre Warrior and a single item, so it's not something 120 isn't used to. It was a clean detonate. Demon Hunter now gets level 2 from the Acolyte. Acolyte, 2 Skellies in the camp, level 2. But this is something that is within the realm of practice for 120. It's not something he's never faced. He's never had to think about. Moon with the quick Tree of Life at his Concealed Hill. Minus 47 mana burn. Wisp comes in, ready to detonate on 4 skeletons. 2 skeletons sectioned themselves off. It's not enough for Moon. He doesn't want to take the bait of just 2 skellies. He'd rather save the Wisp. After all, the Wisp's job isn't only to detonate up to 4 skeletons. It's to force micro adaptations, to threaten a skeleton detonation, to continue to be a threat. So long as this Wisp is here, the skeletons are not allowed to group up. The Wisp should be coming back in very soon. There we go. Detonate on 3 skeletons. That's what he wants. Again, the separation. Again, sending the Wisp back. Fiend attack. Skeleton getting near. Detonate on 1 skeleton. Sometimes when you want too much, you get less. Feels Christmas, man. And 120 has done well. He has split. He has gotten his own Turtle 4 and he's gotten his level 1.7 on the DK. Moon with the containment style, not wanting to give the DK an easy time to get Unholy Aura level 2. And with 2 Wisp detonates, that's something that isn't entirely irrelevant for Moon's opening. It costs him a bit of lumber. It may matter later on down the road. But Moon is going for a gold emphasis strategy. Early Tree of Life, Naga, with the delayed Hunter's Hall, delayed follow-up tech. For him, wow, he didn't even kiss the fountain. Oh, that's an early Ogre And is Moon gonna disrupt the Ogre or is he gonna creep the shop or the expansion? There's no coil, but there's a skeleton to block off. The thing is though, that skeleton is gonna die in 2 more hits, and then the Ogre can escape. Oh my god. Inner Fire, healing Ogre with the Fiend getting ensnared, another dropping low, skeleton dying. 120 gives up on the route. Imagine messing up your Ogre creeping on Concealed Hill in an important best of 5. I couldn't dream of having that happen to me. Now the DK tries to get level 2 and finally gets it. 1 error against Moon and that might be the last song you'll ever sing. Who would do that, Ellie Giggle? Yeah. Rod of Necromancy coming in. Slaughterhouse, tier 3 and double Ziggurat. Moon finds Potion of Replenishment from the shop. And a Pendant of Energy from the expansion, as well as a Manual of Health. Pendant of Energy is pretty darn good on the Naga. Moon's expansion is rooting. And what is he making behind this? I don't expect him to go mass Hippo Riders. I expect a lot of archers, maybe. And a delayed Hunter's Hall with maybe some Dryads. And then eventually Bears or Mountain Giants. That's what I would expect, but I haven't seen it yet. Red Drake Focus Fire. What does he get? True Shot would be good. I don't know what that is. Oh my god, that's really very, very good.
Help?
Sorry to interrupt your beautiful casting, but serious.
It's okay, I can mute and I can read it out later. That's my responsibility. Thank you so much, Mina. I cannot know how much of the thinking is conscious and subconscious, muscle memory versus on-the-spot creative thinking. It's difficult to really tell. Naga creeping the rock column. No special tricks to deny bouldering. So he gets bouldered. He can get coiled. He can get forked. Naga gets past the TP. And TPs with 4 HP. No problem. Just have lightning fast reflexes. But don't let the quickness of the response and the saving of the Naga draw away from the fact that was a no-scout creep camp behind enemy lines without a trick to deny bouldering. It was risky, let's put it that way. He was hoping he would be in time for 120 not to be there yet. It was a risk, it was risky. And so 120 gets that camp. Nice find, nice timing. Detonates on the Naga. Gets the item eventually, and it was worth it. Endurance aura. Movement speed and attack speed for the whole army. Do you know how much damage obsidian statues do with attack speed? Still none. But they heal. And it's up to the rest to deal damage. Bottom third for Moon. Lots of archers. Probably hitting with some attack upgrades, marksmanship, and I don't see any other units yet. So, mass archer play with Possum True Shot. Since he's always getting Possum third for Orb of Venom, I feel like Ruined Bracers is even better than True Shot Aura. Moon is somehow content to give a lot of the important creeps away. He recognizes that trying too much and trying to fight over Ogre 7 is a great way to spiral the game into a loss. Recognizing what you can and can't take, and to use some advantages but not try to have all the advantages, is a really important skill of any player. And Moon is doing that. Moon also will have his very good understanding of when it is good to go over 50 food, and he decided now is the time. He's had 2 bases for quite a while against 1 base, and he knows Undead is wont to go for a timing attack, probably usually with 55 to 60 food. So he's ramping up his archer count in anticipation of an abomination attack. There's very high mana count on all the undead heroes. Unlike Foggy, Moon hasn't been doing mana burn tactics. Go in, mana burn, get nuked, staff out. Moon has been very central with everything he has. He has no town portal scroll. He's got a heal scroll, protection scroll, staff of preservation, greater invul, and a heal pot. But he doesn't have TP. He doesn't have 2 heal scrolls, and he didn't do pre-mana burning. So this is going to be hitting so hard. The sledgehammer attack by 120 coming in. He's got 4 abominations, I believe, with Disease Cloud. Putting the abominations next to the archers is fraught with danger, though. That abomination nearly died immediately. Oh, wow. Nova Fork Lightning dropped 1 archer within attack range, and Moon used heal scroll when he saw the Naga was stepping up to do 1 attack. 120 loses an abomination. The archers have so much damage. Disease clouding them is cool, but it's not a fast acting poison, is it? DK gets focused hard. Abomination cycling in and out. They cannot even use their pitiful auto attack damage. 1 abomination goes down, second one goes down, and the final one almost goes down. 3 abominations have fallen. Moon has 70 food army and didn't lose a single unit, and can now use archers at the fountain to heal up. Now, Disease Cloud, I believe it lasts 90 seconds, dealing 2 damage per second for a total of 180 damage. So Disease Cloud will still be here for some time to come. But all Moon lost is a heal and a protection scroll. The scroll of protection graphics are a joke, or? Yeah, I don't think it's a very strong animation. The little triangle, translucent triangle, is not as good as the old squarish quadruple circle effect. It doesn't look as clear and strong. I get what they were going for, like a translucent shield, but yeah, it doesn't look as cool. But anyway, we can kind of see it. So Moon at 70 food. 2-1 upgrades on his archers with True Shot. Marksmanship is finished. No heal scrolls yet. That's where Moon's money needs to go towards. Some people may wonder, why is 120 not expanding? When you think of him fighting the fight that he just did, he had 60 food. Had he expanded, he would not have been 60 against 70. He would have been maybe 54 against 70. He would have lost even harder, and his expansion wouldn't be able to stay up. Undead often cannot counter expand anymore against Night Elf if Night Elf expands this early. It will just slow down Undead even more. Their best shot is a timing attack, and Moon just completely struck it down. Demon Hunter with the Ruined Braces, making things a lot harder. Not taking a lot of damage from nukes. One abomination goes down. Invul Second abomination goes down. Mana burn. Not a single archer has died yet. Naga getting focused. What does she have? Heal pot. Uses it. Has a heal scroll as well. Uses it. She has the staff. That's why he focuses the Naga. In the meantime, all the abominations have fallen. DK drops low. Demon gets staffed. He was already like behind the fiend line, and the traveling orb of venom and archers just... Wait, it's all archers? Yep. Just archers. Hot diggity damn, man. You hate to see it. Oops. Did Moon lose a single unit? I think in both of the fights he did not lose an archer. Amina asked, how much do you think the players are approximately how much approximately do you think the players are consciously thinking about their decision making, micro and macro, versus just routine muscle memory subconscious decisions? I think humans are most effective, and this is what, of course, pro gamers try to train themselves as. Humans are most effective when they nurture good habits with muscle memory and machine thinking. A lot of the micro is going to be automatic. As a pro gamer, you often even feel that while you're microing, you're watching someone else play. You're watching the fight unfold. You feel what the opponent is going to do next. You feel what you should do next. You're not thinking, I should focus Demon Hunter, and then you focus a demon. It's very often very automatic, micro, and so on. The conscious, creative, free thinking that we call conscious thinking is usually very much before the match, as you decide what creep routes you're going to be using in a map. And occasionally when the game slows down, when you're on 2 bases each, you have some time to think freely. What should I do next? Do I build up an 80-foot army, or do I go for a 3rd base? Do I use a Zeppelin drop, or do I go frontally? And so on. So I'd say it's 95% it's routine. But it doesn't mean that routine doesn't have decision making on the spot either. It's just that you make those decisions very instinctually. Keeper of the Grove first this time. A switch up. Last Refuge is often quoted as being a map where Keeper does not creep to level 2 very easily. At least against Blade Master. Maybe a little different here in this matchup. Thanks for the sub, by the way, Bon Bon King. Have been a fan since 2004. So cool to watch you and feel like back in the days when we were young. Hey, speak for yourself, I'm still young. Also, love your casting. Really learning a lot from your explanations. Thank you very much.
Greetings, friend.
Acolyte scouting for the opening hero is gonna see Keeper of the Grove. Look, DK knows Wisp is always on the high ground of the laboratory. He goes up the high ground, attacks the Wisp and coils it. He could not have seen it. So this is a result of practice and study. Clearing the known Wisp is the first step to 120's game plan for this map. Isn't that cool? DK chases the Keeper, which is level 1.8 with Entangling Roots first. Archer defending against the skeleton. This is a full wall off by Moon because he knows DK only goes Unholy Aura first against demons sometimes, and even on last map. 120 went with coil first. So a coiling DK in his main base could be annoying. So he does a full wall off so that the DK cannot harass the wisps at all. Look at the wisp's location. It's max distance away from the wall. Impassable wall for the DK. Skeletons can go, but the coil will be too far away. Not only that, but Moon is doing something special here, isn't it? Does he know he's playing against undead, or does he think he's against orc? Facetious question, of course. He does know, but he's going with Archer into Huntresses. With a Tree of Life at 21 food. The super fast Tree of Life and Huntresses. Ultra Vision and Containment style. This is Moon hitting with the special tactics. Do you think 120 didn't scout enough with Skellies? Or even with Scout he couldn't cancel early expo from Moon in game 1? Even with Scout he could not cancel. Loyu. With the build he has 0 chance to cancel Moon's expo. With the build and creep route he had. Dangling roots on the Ogre Mage. DK too far away to... Oh, the Moonwell block on the Wisp, that coil. Even while creeping, Moon has the eyes of a parrot and the ears of a hawk. DK's coil missed. Does cost Elf some resources, but no experience on the DK. Ghoul creeping on the Troll. DK's gonna get level 1.8. Tries to go for the Troll Priest. This could be an entangle surround. Moon decided not to entangle. I thought I saw him start the animation, which would mean he cancelled it, which I think is wise, because that surround would not have worked. DK with Staff of Telly, should he get surrounded. And he does. Moon still wanting to do it, of course. He knows he's going to get staffed out, but that is fine. That's still the DK gone. The next entangle will be lethal. Force of Nature second. Moon's Tree of Life finished and is walking to the natural expansion. The players are playing on classic graphics. It is observed in Reforged graphics. Lorathar. Moon also sending his Ancient of War to the expansion to help defend. Don't know Moon's transition yet. He's got 4 Moonwells. And his Tree of Life is 80% of the way to tier 2. 120 for his part is already working on his tier 3. He's gone Lich second, has 2 Fiends, and a statue coming up. Oh, nice skeleton steal by 120. Sweet. He got his level 2. And denies level 3 for a while longer. Moon now needs the small Murloc camp for level 3. Lich comes in. Yeah, it's a very long distance entangle by the tree. Max distance. He tries to get the cancel on the entangled gold mine. It would be nice. It would be nice, my friend. Saruman 2020. Novas, the Wisp, immediate re-entangle. Staff of Telly cooldown available again. What do we got? Double Ancient of Wind. Moon back to his Hippo Rider defense tactics. Hippo Riders into Fairy Dragons. This was all the rage many months ago with Alchemist. Bringing this out now against 120 when the strategy has basically been solved in a sense of mass microing, basically. No coil steal on the Ogre Mage. Even though there's full mana DK, he could not find the timing. Coil steal on the Ogre 3. Double statue here. Note how 120 is not bringing in any of his fiends in this harass. He has 2. they can get entangled. Statues cannot. So it's just double hero statue action with a few creep steals.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
Wait. Oh, never mind. I thought he was getting unholy strength. Like, I thought he was getting unholy armor, like, for ghouls. That would be super weird. But I must have misseen. 120, of course, has to rush out destroyers to deal with Entangle and Force of Nature. To be honest, it is not going to be any Hippo Riders. Because he doesn't have mass archers like usual. I said that. Some people must have thought Grubby's not realizing that without archers there's no point going Hippo Griffs. And yes, I did make a snafu. Typically this build was with 8 archers into 6 Hippo Riders into Fairy Dragons. But with the Huntress opener, what Moon has done is have a more resilient early game against Ghoul Harass and Hero Harass. But Huntresses scale very poorly at this point in the game. And so he has to go straight for Fairy Dragons. And this doesn't feel like the best build for Moon, to be honest. He's gonna TP in with his Huntresses. He has Book of the Dead as well, but there is Devour Magic. So he TPs in merely to save his Tree of Life. But that's equal food. Undead destroys these pathetic Fairy Dragons. It seems like only now does 120 have confirmation that it is Fairy Dragons. He may have suspected, but he didn't want to get webbed for no reason. So he just falls back, gets a camp. And now you see what I'm talking about. When you're sieging an enemy expansion, you always need to find alternative hobbies in between waiting for certain tech. So the fact that this creep cap is available and creepable for 120 is pretty huge. You don't just want to wait here for a minute after denying, mining, and forcing a TP. So Moon at 60 food, lots of fairies. I don't see Moon killing a lot of units, to be honest, if the micro for 120 is correct. Who's making another Fiend. But look at this, Moon with the wraparound, making sure his Huntresses can be brought about to bear onto the Fiends. Entangle on one of the Fiends, Frost Armor on another. Devour removes both of it. The first Fiend goes down, so does a Huntress. So do 2 Huntresses. Fairy Dragons chasing the Destroyers, but there's no movement speed upgrade. Entangle kills another Fiend. Fairy Dragons chase down the Destroyer. 120's micro is a little slower. He's lost a number of units, and the web walk back doesn't work as well. Part of that, of course, is Moon's clever engage angle, coming in from the north, making sure it's not a left versus right situation, but with the wraparound, it cuts off the amount of time that 120 can use to retreat, having to go through the hunts. More Destroyers coming in, 2 Destroyers now, Purge on the Death Knight by the creeps. No Entangle on the Fiend quickly enough, but he gets it eventually, as he does with the Coil. That Destroyer needs to be taken out of the group and sent home. More web micro. Statue forgotten! The statue forgotten and slain. Nova on the Huntress. Of course, Fairy Dragons are immune. A Coil on the Fiend. Where's the Devourer? He gets it. Keeps running away. Unholy Aura makes him mostly faster than the Night Elven army. DK4 is huge in this matchup. This matchup with Fairy Dragons always looks like Elf is winning, Elf is winning, Elf is winning, Elf is winning until they are not. So don't get your heart invested in the outcome too quickly yet, my dear Twitch chat. This is how it looks. Bob and weave. In and out. Run and hit. Hit and run. The Fairy Dragons are in great numbers, but they get webbed, they get kited, and they get focused. So the micro here is you web Fiend, you web some fairies, run away, web more, kill the ones that get left behind, and you try to deplete the Keeper mana over time. All of Keeper's spells can be removed, it's only Acid Bomb that cannot be removed. Funnily enough, Alchemist went with Chemical Rage level 2. No Healing Spray, no Acid Bomb 2, Acid Bomb 1, and a lot of Chem Rage for more single target chase damage. Oh, look, the icon actually transforms of the alchemist portrait when he rages. His eyes turn orange. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Focusing on the Tree of Life now. He has TP. If he could focus the tree and get out, that would be great, but he doesn't have the time to do so. Coil on the Fiend, Acid Bomb on the cluster of Fiends, Devour on the Entangle. Statue gets destroyed by the Focus Fire of Fairies.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
Fairies chasing the statue and trying to take it down. Devour on the spells. The Fairy Dragon Phase Shift, or Mana Flare it's called, gives them 12 bonus armor. Anytime a Fairy Dragon gets webbed, Moon is quickly trying to Mana Flare it to protect it from Focus Fire damage. In Reforged, Mana Flare is not obvious. There's a little green wisp of color. You see like the little green swirly? That's Mana Flare in Reforged. In Classic, it was very obvious. The whole Fairy Dragon turns white, like a platinum color, and like a ball of white. So you knew, okay, that one has the bonus armor, is immobile, and is casting debuffs on spellcasters. But the green swirly is extremely unreadable. But know that Moon is turning them mostly into Mana Flare when they get webbed. And that makes them harder to kill. That's a lot of Fairy Dragons. 120 did kill some stuff. He got his Unholy Aura level 2, which improves the amount of his kiting. And the Destroyer goes away. He's only 7 food down. But now Moon is getting a big creep count. Endurance Aura! Okay, I feel like that's almost GG. Endurance Aura allows him to catch up more easily and get more hits off on every Destroyer. Is a Gargoyle transition valid? No, that is completely out of the question. Completely impossible. The only way to win this is by staying alive with your units. Coils and webs. Coils, devours, and webs is how you win this. You can never reach a satisfactory Gargoyle number to deal with double expansion, double base Fairy Dragon production. You can only win by cost efficiency, and Gargs just die. 400 unarmored life against piercing damage fairies. No, you need that medium armor 550 life. Destroyer getting immediately destroyed. A Fiend is ensnared. Chemical Rage, Acid Bomb. A Coil on the Fiend. The statues are getting attacked. I don't hear a lot of Night Elven units die. Another statue goes down. Destroyer gets focused and dies as well. 1-1 upgrades on the Fiends. 120 can't kill anything. He killed one Fairy Dragon. This is crazy. That's GG. Moon is just the GOAT, man. It's rare to see Fairy Dragons win that hard. But with the Helmsman Moon steering them, it's just a god. Twitch chat, Fairy Dragons are OP. No one said it yet. Does he even have web? Yes, but it's not very obvious graphic in Reforged. Of course he has been webbing, but there's so many Fairy Dragons that the web almost doesn't matter. Matthew Davenport gifted a sub to Rubbish, and Power God with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. Your very first win against him was best of 5. Yeah, true. Actually, my first win ever against Moon was me playing Elf, him Orc. We had a online show match where he beat me 3-0. It was online. It was before we were gonna meet at some tourney or something. And then I said, for the 4th map, shall we go reverse race? And because the match was already over, Moon agreed, and then I beat him with Elf on Close Spots Knollwood. He only agreed for the fans anyway, like to make the fans happy, and because like he's very nice, and like he doesn't even play Orc. I did play Elf, so. Yeah, Moon doesn't off-race, but he agreed for the occasion. At my current strength, I would lose 0-3 to Moon. I mean, I'm not even good against Elf right now. I'm still like trying different builds and stuff. I've always done better against Moon when we met during a endurance tournament. So if you play like 7 different opponents in one day in a group stage of some Western tournament, and then you end up meeting each other, and he had no time to prepare, and I had no time to prepare, and we meet and we play on our fundamentals, I've won those games. But if it's like we're preparing for 2 weeks for one best of 5, he has all these evil strategies. And yeah, he's deconstructed me in such situations. The only time where I won a prepared match was the WEG 2006. All right, map number 3 of 120 versus Moon. Turn his stand. DK first. Even if 120 was going to use Criplord first at all, Moon is not the opponent he could do that against. It's not good against Elf. He could do it against Orc, he could do it in Undead Mirror. With a very small maybe against Human, though probably not. But not against Moon's Night Elf. So will we get our first series of the day that doesn't end 3-0? Acolyte with the attack to remove Lightning Shield cooldown. Getting purged. Now Lightning Shield comes in. Look at that. Acolyte trying to block the Archer again from optimum Lightning Shield positioning. Such a pain in the behind, right? Cool moves by 120. The purge and the subsequent blocks delay the creeping by quite a bit. Which buys time for 120 to get the 2 level 3 creeps in the mid. Or so he hopes. He's gone for the first one. And will now go for the second one. He wants to summon more skeletons. But he won't get to the second one. At least he didn't get mana burned yet. Maybe you send one skeleton after the demon. You keep some around. No, he's just gonna... he's gonna send the DK bot. Moon knows this. He saw DK didn't go north. There's nothing to do on the west. So the DK must have gone south. Skeleton's now solo creeping the wizard. And I feel like Moon's preparation did not prepare him for this. What 120 is doing. He was significantly more prepared on some other maps. Coil's gonna get blocked by a building. Moonwell. Now, Ancient of Wonders is cheaper to build and cancel. Actually, it may have been an Ancient of Wonders. It's the Reforged graphics that make me not able to see what it was. But if I look at the resources, 3 lumber missing. Actually, it is. Right? Moonwell, 40 lumber, you get 30 back. So you have a round number. Ancient of Wonders costs 30 lumber. So you get back 23. Or 22. You get back 22. Which would leave you at 92. Yeah, it was an Ancient of Wonders. But it freaking looks like a Moonwell. It's like... It's too small, the building model in the Reforged graphic. But it was an Ancient of Wonders. You can tell from the resources. Okay, we fixed it. Staff of Telly DK. Staffs out. Goes to the middle probably. Yeah. Because I think if Moon had anticipated this route, he would have had a Wisp near the middle of the map to detonate those 4 skeletons. Moon now with the Tree of Life, I believe. Scroll the Beast is a really good item for Moon, actually, considering he probably will go mass archers again. Didn't he have Scroll the Beast on Concealed Hill as well, in the big Abomination fight? It's game-winningly good, actually. He's gonna save that for the... I don't know, 13-minute mark when he gets attacked. Demon, Naga, and Archers. Another coil dodge on the coil, but he tried to get his Wisp detonate to remove the lightning shields on the Fiend. Good movement by 120 prevented it, and he actually auto-attacked the Wisp to death. But it doesn't take away the fact that 120 lost time and tankiness to finish this camp with the lightning shield. So the Wisp's presence was still disruptive, that 120 is nearly dead from the camp and doesn't finish it. Moon, meanwhile, doing what Warden does often, Ancient of War creeping. This is not a second Ancient of War. It traveled up from the Merc camp. And it hasn't been producing archers, but because he's just been using priests and berserkers to bolster his army. And it's not going to be a Naga. Moon is actually known for going for different hero combinations every single map. I remember when I got to Korea in 2004 and I started practicing with Moon and Zikard. Zikard and I would take turns against Moon. Moon beat me with 7 different opening heroes just to show his dominance. This was early Frozen Throne and I was pretty good. I ended up winning the WCG that year, but I didn't beat Moon. I think if I had met him, I may not have won. He went like Demon first, Keeper first, Warden first. He didn't go so far as to do Possum first, I believe, but he did do Firelord first, Beastmaster first. And I don't remember the other Tavern hero he used first. He would have used 2 more different Tavern heroes. I do think every game we played was on Turtle Rock. I don't know why, but Zikard was setting the pace of that practice routine. And we just kept going on Turtle. In that time, it was known as a pretty good Night Elf map against Orc. It did change later on a bit, but I do think it's always been fairly good for Elf. But it doesn't take away the fact Zikard won about half of his matches. His fundamentals were better against Night Elf. And yeah. Moon loves using different opening heroes, and he's not just doing it for style points. He's doing it to give an opponent something to think about, to keep them off balance. And these are all fully fledged strategies. He's not saying, I will take a suboptimal hero just to have a change. He's gonna have worked on all of them. He's gonna have thought about all of them. And I think he's not gonna go mass archers, right? With Alchemist, doesn't it make sense that he would be making double Lord Dryads? Even though I haven't seen them yet, these units. Dryads are really good with heal spray. But then again, I haven't seen any units, so Ancient of War is working away. It's probably archers. But Moon's army is small this time. Wouldn't Frostworms save the day? Well, Frostworms are a 7-foot top tier unit. And while they may seem like the saving unit at the end of the day, like carriers in StarCraft, the ultimate unit, Broodlords, Warcraft 3 doesn't work that way. Tier 3 does not guarantee a unit is more suitable than Tier 1. Against mass archers, a 1 late Frostworm wouldn't do that much. It's good against Demon Hunter though. Moon always straddling the line of defending his expansion and losing it. Coming in when the tree is getting attacked allows him to have a distracted undead that wastes some of his mana on killing wisps. Alchemist buys healing potion. Nice Ancient of Wonders position. Acid Bomb. Scroll of the Beast. Dark Ranger comes in from the back. First Skeleton comes in for 120. Alchemist drops low. So does the Demon. Still has the Health Stone. Good block by the Ghoul. Perhaps accidental. The shop now going down. Moon down to 39 food. I don't see how he can stay alive here. 120 built up his creeping in a very steady manner. Nothing crazy, nothing special, but he got his creeps, he got his 3 heroes, and the difference here is he made more ghouls. Going for Mass Fiends on Concealed Hill did not work out for him. Double Slaughterhouse Abominations did not work out for him. Now with the Ghoul Frenzy attack, we would expect Happy to be playing like this more. 1 Ghoul Frenzy attack first. Going straight for Fiends is too slow, too cumbersome, and hits too late. If 120 ends up winning more games, winning this game, this is how he's going to have to do it. This is an earlier timing attack. Moon wasn't ready yet. The Tree of Life was a little slower than a Concealed Hill. Coil on the Demon! Coil on the Demon, he has TP! He has TP, but God, the nerfs on him. He's not just gonna lose his demon, not Moon. He will TP when he has to and no earlier than that, which is now. Trying to create maximum distance between the undead army and himself. But he loses 2 more archers. And this compounds his issues. Although Moon's plan was to lure undead away with an undeniable lure of trying to kill units and trying to kill the demon, by thus creating distance between him and his main base, and then he could town portal and be safe, Moon doesn't have an expansion to fall back on. Instead, it actually turns against him. The delayed TP, GG by the way, the delayed TP allowed 120 to go to the second best thing he could get. The best thing he can get is the demon hunter kill and archer kills. The second best thing is having access to the top of the map, the 2 big remaining creep camps on the map, which is the gold mine and the level 5 creep. My camera's spazzing out a bit. Better now? Okay, better now. So after the TP hit, Moon realized he had just offered on a silver platter. And it's not like he had another choice, but he had offered on a silver platter the remaining creeps on the map. He knew that 120 is going to be like level 443 and he knew it was over, so he GG'd. Without an expansion, he knew he had no chance. 40 food. Good job! 120 gets a map win. There is a chance still, and we have our first non-3-0 match. There. .120 quickly joined on a Skype call with a practice partner or teammate, or is talking to himself. But if you look at the face of expectation and listening and the social cues, he's actually talking to someone. So like in between 2 maps, he has access to a coach or a practice partner to talk through some of the next moves, which is cool to see. Is he allowed to do that? Presumably yes, because I mean, I haven't read the rules, but it's obvious from the webcam that it's happening. And as long as he doesn't do it during the game. And I haven't seen him talk during the game. Happy called him after game 2. How was Moon on a personal level when you met him? Very friendly. And his Korean countrymate said he's also funny. But I have never been able to discover that for myself because of the language barrier. Who was my coach? Well, Cassandra was my mental coach, but I didn't really have a gameplay coach. Just now and then practice partners and friends, but not with any level of consistency. So I did Warcraft 3 mostly without coach. I only had coaches in StarCraft 2. I hired the services of a psychological coach, like a sports mentality coach, towards the end of my time in SE2. And during the middle of my career in SE2, I had a Dutch friend who coached me some events, which I think increased my success at 1 or 2 events. But never like a coach like you see in sports events, like professionally trained, always there, that kind of thing. I did coach people, either friends or like, you know, hourly rate services to people that wanted to hire it. But again, very sporadically and not in a fundamental way. After all, I was working on my own career of 1v1 competition. I coach some people sometimes, yeah, at some events. Did I benefit from the mental coach? A bit, but not that much, because while he was teaching me meditation techniques and gratefulness techniques, and I cried during the session because of what we went through. A lot of it is psychological, which means that you are reaching important points. But at the same time, I had to teach him so much about what StarCraft 2 is. He was using real sports world examples, and I had to translate that myself to gaming examples, because he was not a gaming plus psychology coach. He was a sports coach. So because of this, we spent at least half the time me explaining him StarCraft 2, even as he tried to explain me techniques. And he didn't get me, he didn't get gaming too often for it to be truly useful. You need to focus on the ball, and when it's raining, you reel in the fishnets, and it's like, no, but there is no ball. It's like, huh? I feel like, yeah, he should have almost paid me for SC2 learning. When did I play against him last time? Who? Moon? 2018 in an exhibition match. Won, by the way. I beat Moon, Moon beat Sky, Sky beat me. One map. What strats do I expect on this map? Yes, back into the... Yo, thanks for the sub, Metzel Schmidty. I didn't see the hero yet, but I expect Moon to mass archers again. He's done that every game. And I expect 120 to go Ghoul Frenzy. This Acolyte has become so important at disrupting creeping. The Renegade Wizard has a 4-second global cooldown or so of spellcasting, so you force the purge with the Acolyte, delay the lightning shield. But Moon pretty much got a nearly slowed down route. Now coil lightning shields by the DK. Funnily enough, Renegade Wizard sees lightning shield on the DK as a spell that helps creeps around the world. That spell is cast by Renegade Wizard. It is considered a negative debuff on the DK. The wizard casts it because the DK was surrounded by ghouls. So the wizard, being a creep and not very clever, thinks that the DK will damage the ghouls a lot. So if the DK had Bloodlust on him, that is a positive buff. If the DK then attacks the Renegade Wizard, the Renegade Wizard would purge the DK to force focus fire on him and remove the positive buff of Bloodlust. But even though the lightning shield started to be used against the creeps, so it's a positive buff for DK, the Renegade Wizard doesn't recognize it as such, so he doesn't purge it away. Isn't that funny? Stupid creep. Detonate on the skeletons. Mana burn on the DK. He's got one more coil. And he can get mana burn one more time. He coils the Demon Hunter for value damaging. I think he shouldn't have become a wizard. He's not very smart. He should have gone into the army. Just fights as cannon fodder on the front line. He should have become an ogre mauler. Ghoul creeping now already shows that we are going to have more of that Ghoul Frenzy type of timing attack. Because on the game where he went straight Fiends, he only had 3 ghouls, so this is different already. Good. Ghoul micro. Wisp coming in to detonate skeletons, but because they split, he doesn't detonate. That's Moon for you. The skeletons are so low, Moon doesn't think it's worth detonating anymore. Who's gonna get this creep? No, 120 got it. No steal. 120 is level 2.7. Demon, 2.3. And Moon's invincible aura is starting to flag a bit. Now that 120 is switching to ghoul tactics, he's been having considerably more success. There is coil. He coils the archer. Has dust, finishes it. This is a good map for Elf, which is why it's Moon's first go-to pick. But 120 has been controlling the pace of the game very well, forcing a level 353 creep camp under Moon's eyes and forcing the Demon Hunter to go home and drink heavily from the Moonwells. It is difficult to imagine a better early game for Undead. He sold his Town Portal scroll, bought Boots of Speed, and is now going for the Naga.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
Frost Arrow on archers. And the Ghoul attempt on the Naga. Demon has boots as well. He's running down the Naga. It's smart by Moon. He knows if he doesn't right click and forget his Demon on the Naga will get so many hits on archers, or even on Moon's Naga, that would allow 120 to do a Ghoul surround with that aura, with that slow of the Frost Arrow. Bouldering on the DK is inbound. Moon did this on purpose. He forced the heroes down into the camp, knowing that it's far more disruptive to 120 than to himself. I knew that DK was going to get bouldered. Now the Ghoul. That is XP denial, but that's a dead Ghoul. Second Ghoul getting killed as well. Moon using the environment against his opponent like a ninja. Chicken attack. Yodely he. Heroes for 120 have dropped low. 2 ghouls have died, and Moon has bought time and space, created space for his Ancient of War creeping on the kobolds. It was greedy going for the demon surround, definitely. Moon sees this. Detonate. Demon and Naga on the way. He lets archers solo finish the creep camp, and he immediately moves to disrupt this. The tides are turning against 120, and it makes sense because Moon controls the tides. You can explain that. Ghoul goes down. And Moon is preventing the creeps. Creeps on the Ancient of War Archer camp have been finished. Moon got that experience. Naga is almost level 2. And the creep jack from below. Naga has no TP. He has no time to give TP to the Naga. And she gets murdered. The Ghoul goes down as well. Coil on the Ghoul to try and save it. DK does get level 3. He picks Unholy Aura level 2. Being permanently out of mana definitely makes activatable spells feel overrated. This time Moon is playing like how Foggy plays. Going into Dryads and Bears. Playing a pressure style. Not reliant on expansions, but reliant on tier 3, Orb of Venom, Staffs of Preservation, Rejuvenation, and Master Bears. Naga's back. Tier 3 is finished, but the money for 120 so far is lacking for the Lich. Now he has it. He starts the Lich. When Lich comes out, he will need to buy Orb of Corruption, which means 120 doesn't get to increase the size of his army all too much anymore. Ancient of War attacks his own Tree of Eternity so that it stops being a focus target for creeps. 120 starts to creep this camp. This camp has caused him so much grief so far. And Moon is not making it any easier for 120. Mana burns on the statues, 100 each. Statues have 0 natural regeneration. All of the regen they get, which isn't from Acolyte Repair, is thanks to Unholy Aura, but it's slow. The mana burns remove health, and, very importantly, the mana. Having those statues give less sustain. Every mana burn on the statue, I was going to say, but the mana burn the Death Knight, only 25 mana. Fiend gets focused. Lich with the Nova, very timely arrival. Glad you could make it, Kel'Thuzad. The Fiend survives. Rejuve on the Demon Hunter. Again, Rejuvenation is a spell effect in Reforged that is not as clear in these graphics as the original. It shows itself as a small warm fire around the heart of a hero, a small ball of light. It's not as clear as in Classic, but now you know how to recognize it if you didn't see it before. Rejuvenation on the demon keeps it alive. Yes, Aura heals Zeppelins, Shredders, statues, and meat wagons. Units that normally have no natural regen. Renegade Wizard. What does it drop? Ruined Bracers. Not too bad. Against Mana Burn and
一位玩家的部
Fork
队
Lightning.
正遭到攻击。
Oh, a little bit of a bad micro by 120. He had a small movement command as he scrambled to get in position to reach higher priority targets. He goes straight for the archers and straight for the Naga. Lich has no invul. Beams getting attacked. No coil right now. But he does force Moon to TP. What does that get him? More than forcing someone to TP, it's often what else does that get you? Which
一位
creeps
玩家的部队
are in your
正遭到
immediate
攻击
vicinity for you to get the spoils of war? And in 120's case, there aren't that many. He gets the dregs of the mercenary camp. It's like stealing a hamburger, but finding that the patty has already been taken away. You get 2 pieces of soggy bread, a bit of sauce, and half a pickle. Moon already ran away with the patty, and now gets another full hamburger in the
一
top
位玩
left.
家的部队正遭到攻击
What does he get out of this? Ruined Bracers,
正遭到攻击
potentially? A Boots of Quel'Thalas, 6 agility. That is an amazing item for Moon. The item he gets, Tome of Intelligence, he accidentally picks it up with the demon. Speed over optimization. So that's pretty useless. Naga would have got +2 damage and a bit of useful mana. Moon now getting creep jacked. But the ensnare on the destroyer! He doesn't go for it though. He says, that's a bait. Thanks, Tom Hardy. As Naga gets focused, has no way to escape. Naga goes down. Moon with a blunder. He has Staff of Preservation, but he was out of range. He loses his Naga, getting creep jacked. Destroyer being a bit of a bait. Is this where Moon loses and goes to the tiebreaker? He had such a good setup so far. Destroyer over the woods. Good micro by 120. Getting the damage on the Demon Hunter. Having fed the undead
一位
heroes
玩家
now,
的部队正遭到
after
攻击
midnight, there's gonna be some scary growth that I'm not sure Moon is able to deal with. Okay, DK is almost level 4 and we'll get Coil level 2. Naga almost level 3. Lich almost level 3. Is this where 120 can get the spoils of war? The Granite Golem? The greatest prize of all? Moon recognizes he cannot stop this. So instead he goes for his own Granite Golem.
队正遭
Bears will get thunderclapped. Once. But now he allows the Granite to return home with blocks so that the Granite will not do a single thunderclap again. Good micro by Moon. Right when he needs it most. They trade Granite Golems. Considering Moon lost that fight, that's the best he can hope for. What does he get? Brilliance Aura. Not the best. Bonus mana on Bears
一
certainly
位玩
looks
家的
good,
部队正遭到
but it
攻击
isn't what wins you games. Wow, I can't believe he's solo creeping this. He doesn't want to be able to lose any units at all, while scouting with a Dryad and soloing the rest of the Rock Golem. So he sees the expansion, 120 pumped to 60 food, Novas, the Wisp to get level 3 Lich. 120 is level 433, has Mana Pot and Wand of Mana Steal. And Mountain Giants come on to the
一
game
位
for
玩家的
Moon.
部队正遭到攻击
Mountain Giants to disrupt some of that lethal focus fire. Demon 4, Naga nearly 4, 1 Mountain Giant, 4 Bears, and 4 Dryads. More Dryads being pumped. Moon has gone to 70 food. He has a small food advantage. What are his upgrades like? 1-0. 2 Mountain Giants and then 2 more Dryads. The classic. Save up on 50 food with Bears, then 2 MG to 64, then 2 Dryads to 70. This is it. Double Staff of Preservation, Invul and Heal Pot. That's what Moon has to save his stuff. Mana Burn, Nova, good exchange for Moon. Taunt. Second Pulse of Taunt. Gets Moon bonus damage on the Fiend. One bear gets focused very quickly. No staff. Mana burn on the Naga. Demon staying very safe on the frontiers of the fight. Fork Lightning on a single Abomination. Moon messed up. Fork Lightning will only hit 3 targets when your main target is covered by 2 targets that are closer. It doesn't actually gain bonus range on secondary and tertiary targets. The Fork Lightning still got the Abomination kill, which is what he wanted, but it was not optimal. Demon Hunter on the fringes. Has to be careful not to lose his Demon. There's a Mana Pot on the DK that could lead to a surprise nuke. Staff on the bear by the Demon. The Demon is still low. 120 could get cheeky and try to get a Secrets Coil on the Demon, which is low. I think it just happened. He Mana Potted Coiled the Demon, and the Demon used Invul. You did not see this, but luckily I told you it was going to happen. 120 cheekily consumed Mana Potion and Wand of Mana Steel to coil the Demon, who blocked the coil with Potion of Invulnerability, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. So they trade money basically. Mana Pot is 125, Invul is 150, Wand of Mana Steel, 1 charge. They traded money, which is a good trade for 120. He has an expansion. Now what I did not see is if during this fight, Moon sent 1 Druid of the Claw to kill all the Acolytes. Looking at 120's gold acquisition presently, I do not believe that this was the case. I believe this expansion kept mining. This is looking very good for 120. He has stabilized, but he has to be careful not to lose his heroes. The Lich is certainly exposed. It does have an invul though. All of the ranged heroes have an invul for 120. Just his DK doesn't, which has a Cloak of Flames. Decent item, I suppose. Abomination goes down. Fork Lightning this time hitting multiple targets. The Lich, the Fiend are getting peppered by lightning. No Dark Ritual yet, but Burrow. In the meantime, there is something happening at the expansion. I believe 120 sent a Destroyer after a Druid of the Claw. So the Druid would kill 3 Acolytes maybe, and then the Destroyer would kill the bear. Or maybe there's no Destroyer and it's the Nerubian hitting and slowing down the bear. Could 120 micro his Acolytes during that, or did he lose at least 3? It just got staffed. Yes, okay, there was a Destroyer, but the bear survived. Moon staffed it. And Moon killed some units and has managed to go to 72 food. When is the right timing to add MG to the army versus Undead? You save up 700 gold on 50 food while getting the 2 Mountain Giant upgrades, and then you get 2 Mountain Giants to go to 64. Wow, that MG was full life and it actually got hunted down and murdered. Moon was not in time to staff it. That's a huge loss. Moon is certainly... Oh wow, all the Acolytes died. Literally all of them. This is how Moon is not fighting an 80 food undead army yet. Good job. This base has 19,480 gold. 19,480. 120 mined less than a minute's worth of this expansion. 600 gold per minute. He mined 520. So I can confirm now that during both fights, Moon branched off a Druid of the Claw to murder all the Acolytes. He did this twice, it worked twice. And eventually, the main bases will run out. And then Moon will take his expansion with his Tree of Eternity. And Amazonia is the most weird map, together with Northern Isles, when it comes to the disparity of gold in your main and your expo. Your expo has 20,000 gold. No other map in the pool that is currently being used has that much gold on the expo. In fact, no map even has 15,000 gold on the expansion. Amazonia has 20. You can have a 40-minute game on this 4 base map and not mine out. So if Moon ever equalizes with his expand against 120s, then he's going to be fine. He's going to be right as rain. Moon now working on his second attack upgrade. But 120 does still have that main. Mains have not yet run out. They will very soon though. I believe 13,500 gold, which takes 22 minutes to mine out. So we've got about 2 minutes left. The low gold warning will have sounded for both players already. A waiting game now. 120's gold will be somewhat more, which is why he's so well supplied in items. Triple invul, heal scroll, and a mana pot. Moon, only an invul pot. Had he been the benefactor, the benefitter of so much gold, he would have also had third hero, heal scrolls, and so on. .120's final acolyte arrives on the expansion. Mark of the Claw coming, and the final mountain giant. 1-1 upgrade, soon to be 2-1. I believe 120 is working on 2-0 himself. Why does 120 gold go up in increments of 18 instead of 14? Oh, because it's not 18, it's 28. You're only looking at the final number. The overlay only updates every 2 seconds instead of every 1 second. So he's going up 28, 28, 28. What is 120 waiting for right now that is 80? I think he wants to finish advantage. But let me tell you what I think would be the best thing for 120 to do. More upgrades, obviously, and I think he is doing that. But I think he should get more sacrificial skulls. They only cost 50 gold, and they give him quadruple healing. Quadruple healing that a normal player gets during the daytime. What is that message? I don't know. I think it's a NetEase message, maybe. A battle platform advisory. A little bit annoying, but players would be used to it. Oh, an observer left the game. I see. Thank you. Maybe someone disconnected. So 120 with 2-0 upgrades. He's also started to add meat wagons. But let me tell you another reason 120 was waiting. It's no good to go over 80 food with 1 unit. You want to save up a little bit of a bank to go to 90. And that's what he is doing. Fiend, Abomination, meat wagon. As soon as you can see your opponent closing in on 80 food, you need to make sure you don't hit him with 81, but with 90. He doesn't have those units yet, but he still starts the fight. Fork Lightning on the bear. 1 dice instantly. All the roar has been removed. Demon was missing as well. Now attacking a mountain giant. That's not ideal. Frost armor on the Abomination. It's strong. He disease clouded the Abominations. Frost armor has not been removed yet with Abolish. Great! Detonates on all of the undead heroes. No more spells for you. The Demon Hunter gets focused. Now would be a good time to use Invulnerability Potion. He rejuves the Demon Hunter, but the Devourer removes the rejuve immediately. Fork Lightning and Mountain Giants going ham. Is there a Dust of Appearance for Moon? There isn't, but he does have a Sentry. Will he place it though? He needs to see those burrowed fiends. But we're at 65 food for Moon. Demon level 5. 120 killed so many more units and still has all of his invulnerability. Now with the Sentry Ward for Moon. Kills Fiend number 1. Kills Fiend number 2. Demon still has invul. Runs away rather than using it. Abomination died in the backline to Bears and Mountain Giants. There's still a mana pot for DK. Could do a cheeky coil. Coils the Mountain Giant. It stays alive with 22 life. Moon 62 food. 120 70. Coil dodge with the Staff of Preservation. That's goddamn awesome. But it does staff to the Tree of Eternity. There are no Moonwells there. It is exposed. It is isolated. DK getting attacked. Has invul. No mana right now on the Naga. Brilliance working away, but it's not enough. DK has invulnerability. Destroyers not really getting focused. Going for the DK now. Going for the DK. Has Unholy Aura level 2. Mana burn. Minus 62. 100 life. Statues. Auto attack. Orb of Venom. Another attack. And another attack. He kills the DK. 120 loses his Death Knight. Will he cancel all of his current units in production and remake the DK from the tavern? Or will he play a slow game and go for the auto revive, which is much cheaper? And we are playing a zero-sum game here. This is not Twisted Meadows with infinite expansion spots. He's unsummoning his Nerubian tower at the expansion to rehire the 680 gold costing Death Knight. He wants to forge the iron while it's still hot and melted. He knows Moon is not fully recovered yet. Moon solo killed the DK with his demon. Naga was not near, so he's almost level 6. Kill another 4 or 5 units, and Moon will get level 6. Moon's wisps were huge in that fight. Mana burn, minus 37. And minus 125 from the Nova. Brilliant Aura actually has been so good for Moon. I didn't expect. His bears and Naga certainly needed the mana. Abomination's getting focused. Bears and MGs as a front line. So tanky. Kills one Abomination. Demon gets focused. There are no mana pots left. It looks like 120 is starting to lose. He doesn't have that much left. 67 food. He's 10 food ahead, but it doesn't look like it. Past the invul to the DK. And focuses the demon. Demon is level 5.8. Metamorphosis is looming. That's a Fork Lightning on a Fiend. In the meantime, a bear dies. 120 actually did come out ahead in that fight. It looks so good for Moon. But 120 controlled the chaos well. 70 food still. Moon is mining a bit more now. But all of his moon wells are empty. He's gonna staff this bear to get it out. 1 life, disease clouded druid of the cloud. And look at that disease cloud value on these dryads. The moon wells are empty. 120 will be waiting for another potion of invulnerability for his Death Knight. The clever thing about 120's Nerubian unsummon is because there is a Nerubian, Moon wouldn't believe he can harass there anyway. So the illusion of defense is enough of a deterrent to have the same value as the actual defense. The Nerubian gave him more money, which gave him his DK quicker, which allowed him to follow up attack quicker. That's why he unsummoned the one with defense. There are so many destroyer possibilities. He went for so many statues. They all ran out of mana, to be honest. He's not necessarily wanting mass destroyers. He just did it because he needed that many statues to get enough mana. They've been getting burnt, they've been getting used, they've been getting detonated. 2 destroyers and 4 statues. I don't think he really wants to mass destroyers. Destroyers are 5 food. And without mana, they aren't that good of a unit against mountain giants, against heroes, against dryads. They're really only very good against bears. And those can get nuked as well. Most important of anything is 120 not losing units. That's what gives Demon Hunter Metamorphosis. He needs to Dark Ritual any Fiend. That's a Fiend dead. Demon inching closer to Metamorphosis. And the Meat Wagon was attacking the Tree of Eternity, but he has brought it into the fold. Abomination going down. Gets a coil. Abomination solo. 1 down. The next unit gives Metamorphosis. Dryad's getting focused. Abomination so low. Will he ritual it? Demon Hunter level 6.
Metamorphosis, now I am complete.
Demon Hunter going ham, but he loses his Naga. Moon loses his Naga. He had no Staff of Preservation available or forgot to use it. As Dryads have fallen, Demon Hunter will try to do this job by himself. 2 giants, a bear, and a dryad enter a bar. Demon Hunter laying chase. Chaos damage, range damage, and 500 bonus life. This demon has 1575 life. And he's trying to fight this fight by himself. But even Demon Hunter level 6 is apparently not enough. That poor Naga Sea Witch. And Moon hasn't got the money to make a lot of units after rebuying his Naga Sea Witch from the tavern. Altar rebuys are so much cheaper, but no player ever feels like they can play the next 2 to 3 minutes without one of their main heroes. So despite having empty wells, getting a half-life Naga back, Moon decides to tavern rebuy. 2 invulns for 120 and enough spells to give the demon a good reckoning when he moves in. Coil Nova, no fork, but he can Coil Nova the demon upon approach. Little does Moon know that a Druid of the Claw in 120's gold mine would leave him to get an advantage on the Acolytes. But there is an Abomination there, perhaps by design, perhaps not. The Abomination rejoins 120's army. Mana burn on the statue. I like this by Moon. So many mana burns on the statues to make sure that 120 has less sustain. What is that, an Abomination or the 5th statue? Mana burn on the Lich. Nova and Staff. Moon has to use Staffs when he's fighting on 120's side of the map. If he does Staff on his demon when he's fighting on his side of the map, the demon gets exposed at the Tree of Eternity. That's why he has to make these aggressive move outs. This is both players at their best. What an exciting game. It's difficult to tell who would win. Moon is trying to wait for his next metamorphosis timing. That is what he is waiting for here. And I think we are getting relatively close. It's a long cooldown, but I think it's only 3 minutes, not 4. I'm just holding my breath here, looking at the next Coil Nova. He staffs the bear, which means demon cannot be staffed right now. That was from the Naga. I believe it's 30-second cooldown, so we're 22 seconds out till the next. Bear rejuves himself, comes in druid form, takes Coil Nova, and still dies. Demon still exposed. Still no staff Prezi cooldown available. But Moon's damage on the Abominations is significant. 1 goes down. There's no mana left on the undead heroes. The next Abomination to fall. 120 is 70 food, but somehow it doesn't look like it. Demon Hunter becomes complete once again. Still I am hunted. Still I am hated. Now my blind eyes see what others cannot. As the demon and the Naga Myrmidons are chasing 120 down. Now still with the Naga, now still with the Mountain Giants, the Dryads and the Bears. This is a much scarier metamorphosis than the first one. So much damage coming out. Lich has no invul. Does take a coil and a frost armor, which is going to save it. Good abolish on the frost armor. Autocast does not work on hero spells. You have to do it manually, and Moon did. 69 food, 120. And that's it. He has spent his demonic form, and he will be back to just being Illidan. He will not diminish, though, nor go into the west. He will go back to the northeast, heal up. There is a shade going around that offers 120 some crucial information. 120's goal now is to heal up to full as he can. Get as close as possible as he can to 80 food. Perhaps pick up a potion of mana. Cannibalize with Abominations to have cheaper healing. And keep the destroyers away from statues so that they do not soak up needless mana regen points from the statue. A mistake a lot of undeads make is keeping the destroyers and statues together. Destroyers have negative mana regen that is higher than the amount of mana they can get from a statue. So they continually lose. You see it now. You see the blue thing on the destroyer's head? Waste of mana. Waste of mana. It's like leaving the tap open. Drip, drip. Before Metamorphosis is back, 120 would like to attack again. And have a final fight to decide the issue. Unlike Night Elf, with their Demon Hunter. 120 and Undead doesn't get very good heroics for fights. Good ultimates. Animate Dead is maybe useful actually in a game like this. But usually not. Tornado Naga, Death and Decay, not the best. So it's not like 120 has a fantastic level 6 setup. Level 5-5 though, that would be pretty big. Next fight is on the way. Mana Burn on the Naga, focusing it. Staff on the Demon Hunter. 1 MG and 1 Bear are stuck at the back. Bear getting focused. Second one goes down. Now focusing on the Lich. It has Frost Armor. Does remove the Frost Armor. Heal Pot. Demon has to run. I don't know if there's still a staff, a cooldown available on the Naga to save the demon, so he goes around the other side. It looks like 120 may have finally marshaled the critical mass of power. This is the first fight where all the abominations do not fall practically instantly. And that's a good sign for 120. He did run out of a lot of mana. Only the DK has a lot of mana left. And there should be Metamorphosis again. My inner clock tells me meta is available now or within the next 10 seconds. There we go. Mana Burn on the DK and attack the clump. Chaos, damage and splash. But he gets so focused by the Naga that he runs away. Frost Arrow, when it hits, is so good to reduce the damage of the Demon Hunter's meta. This is so hard to micro for an Undead as well. Roar on the Demon. Abomination goes down. Attacking the clump of fiends. Spreads the most amount of damage possible. Almost always people try to run away from Metamorphosis because you just can't beat it. And that's essentially what 120 is doing. But he's doing an armed, controlled retreat. Not a full route. He's killing Dryads and Bears on the way back. Bear focus. Roar. Staff on the Bear. Demon Hunter getting focused. Demon is a great tank though. Abominations trying to run. Mountain Giant hit the wrong thing. One Abomination goes down. Second one should go down now as well. Moon's Naga, level 5.7. Naga on the Moon. Getting attacked. Staff on the Bear. Moon did a great fight, man. He is equal food. I don't know why I said Naga on the Moon. Because I opened with Naga. It really left me very few linguistic devices to talk about how it was Moon's Naga. Naga by Moon getting focused is not as cool. Mountain Giant getting blocked by a statue. Lovely micro by 120. Is there a staff? Coil! -8. He coils the MG. It dies. That's a big loss. The bear is sequestered and isolated. Where are your friends? He's gonna get taken down by the destroyers. 2 attack upgrade destroyers. Moon is holding on for dear life. Meta is not yet back. He needs another minute or so. 40 minutes. Unintentionally prophetic forecast. There's still 8,000 gold left for 120 in this expansion, which means Moon has almost 10,000 gold left. This could be a 50-minute game before we mine out. Look at the top left. There's a clock. 39 minutes. Very few Mountain Giants left. It's not looking too good for Moon. Meta! It was not a minute. Meta, 450 health on the demon. Lich, Invul. One mistake and any of these players could lose at an instant's notice. Just value hitting the abominations. Abomination goes down. Another one goes down. I think it got ritualed. Yeah, it got ritualed. That would have been a good way to end the sentence. Mina. 120 has level 555 heroes against 6-5. And does Moon go for Tornado instead of for Frost Arrow level 3? I think you do.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
If somehow Moon could get another Metamorphosis, he could combine it with Tornado to prevent the escape. But it's a long time until he gets his next Metamorphosis. I want to point out something, by the way. Metamorphosis adds 500 current and max health to the demon's pool. And when he loses meta, he loses 500 max health, but does not lose 500 current health. Nor is there a percentual adjustment of the current health. So if a demon is 1100 out of 1600 health, and his meta is about to end, any healing he does is useless. Moon knows this, so he cleverly stood there with 1100 out of 1600, did not use his moon wells, and you saw his health bar go from like this to this. It's pretty cool. Moon 57 food against 120, 68. Tree of Eternity getting attacked again like so many times before. The game sound got really soft suddenly. I don't know why. I'm gonna increase the sound. They made it softer. No staff on the bear. He decided it's not worth it. He's going to save it for the demon. Demon comes in with level 6. Mana burn on the DK. Another bear goes down. Lich gets coiled. Has so much mana. So much mana on the Lich. Demon gets focused. He does not want to burn his invul too soon. Tornado? Are we going to see a tornado? No. He spec'd Frost Arrow. Level 3. Demon getting focused. Nova! Demon goes down! Demon goes down and 120 creates the beginning of the end of this game and a setup for the final map in this series. After a 42-minute game, 120 finally gets his hands on the Demon Hunter, but Moon not giving up yet. It is over though, but he needs to see this through to its natural conclusion. There is not the lumber nor the gold to remake the Demon Hunter. Ritual on the Fiend. Almost enough mana on the Lich. Focus Fire and it goes down. DK 6. Is he going to pick up Animate Dead, Death Pact or Unholy Aura level 3? It's Unholy Aura. Full respect despite the state of the game. Being almost 100% confident for 120 to win it. Eventually 120 would have mined out first. Eventually, that would have given Moon the win if he kept it up over and over and over. But the demon did die. Now, another attack on the Tree of Eternity, perhaps the 7th time that 120 turned his eye on it. And perhaps the first time for it to be successful. Counterattack on the expansion. Hey, no Nerubian, sees Moon. And Moon is not giving up. His demon is being altar revived. He kills all of the acolytes. And 120 is prioritizing the kill of the tree rather than the altar. Demon Hunter's back. And Naga will also come back. Eventually. I thought this was game, but here's the demon. Naga has Invul. Meta. Invul. And Nova. 113 minus on DK. Coil. Coil and Nova available. Dryads need to run. And so does Mountain Giant. Demon tries to come back in to help the Mountain Giant. Has Invul, does not coil block with the Invul. Naga's still coming back. Demon alone. Against a 60-foot army. Naga's halfway back. One Acolyte mining again. Even when all hope seems lost, do not yield until your heroes have fallen. A wise man once said.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
Even a small seed can grow a big tree given enough time. .120 decides to recuperate his acolytes and is starting to mine again from his expansion, slowly but surely. Naga is coming back. Eventually Moon could expand again. I don't know that it's worth it. I think he has to be the aggressor this time. He could, in theory, sell Brilliance and make a tree. Moon has been revealed. He's not bringing his wisps. This is not the full force of Moon. Because he's not bringing his wisps. No tornado for 120 either. Moon thought there was still a Nerubian on the expansion. Oh well, GG. That's why he never harassed it during all this. Nice block on the coil with Invul this time. That's a great mana exchange. Staff on the Naga. You can still staff even if you don't have a tree. GG. Wow. 2-2. 2-2. Map number 5. What a treat. What was the final map? Echo. Alpheus with the second month sub said, I try to give more than I take, but I find it hard to keep up with the huge amount of love you're sharing with us. You're a beast, Grubby. Thank you. Thank you for the sub, Alpheus. It is a labor of love. Snafu later. Thank you for the sub. We have a human and a night elf in top 4. No undead yet, and there's still a chance for an orc. We could have one of each. But these players do not care for such statistics. They want their personal glory. Winning this map sees them to the semifinals. Game on! I was wondering if Moon would just do like some kind of off-the-wall Ancient Protector rush. I said maybe he'll go Demon Archer Naga again because it worked the best, but things aren't so simple, and they never are with Moon either. Moon used 4 different builds so far. Demon Hunter, Naga, Mass Archer, bottom. Then Keeper, Alchemist with Mass Fairy Dragon. Then Demon Alchemist with Mass Archers. Then he went for Demon Naga with Dryad Bears and Mountain Giants. He has not used the same build and hero combination once yet. Perhaps that's where he feels his strength lies. Predictability, being killer. And I expected Keeper of the Grove coming out. I was about to get around to it. Of course, you'll never know now. And who cares anyway? So Keeper gives him 2 options. He can do a fast expansion like he did on Last Refuge. but on Last Refuge he did it with Huntresses, so it makes me feel like this time he'll do Keeper Archer fast expansion into Hippo Rider Fairy Dragon. Or he could go Keeper, pretend it's a game like that, and actually go for an Ancient Protector rush. Across the ages, Moon has defeated many opponents with AP rushes. You never know when he's gonna bust it out, but no. Oh, actually, yes! Hunter's Hall could do that. And when you think about it, if you create a game, especially a victory, with Huntress expansion, like he did in map number 2, it hides the fact that you're going for a future Huntress AP rush even better. If you do Archer expand, Archer expand, Archer expand, and suddenly you're Huntresses, someone is going to be suspicious of an AP rush. But if you do Archer expand, Huntress expand, Archer expand, no expand, then suddenly this will look like a Hunter's expand. So it could be an AP rush. But perhaps I'm giving too much credit to this build that Foggy was not able to be happy with. We actually have Moon potentially set up to go make an expand now or to tech. And it is the expansion at the Merc Camp. A Huntress and a Tree of Life. So it is expanding. Okay. Do you know statistically if it has been more common in the past that when the sweeping player comes back 2 maps that they finish it out 3-2? Or is it the one that got 2-0 firstly that statistically more often gets the 3-2 in their favor? I don't know, Shushan. It is interesting. I don't know the stats. But the maps get progressively better for Moon after 120 has exhausted his map picks. Actually, let's see. Moon wins 1, map gets better for Eero, it's his best. Moon wins that one as well. Then Moon plays his map, loses it. Then Moon loses his second map. Moon won the neutral and 120's best. 120 won Moon's best 2 maps. I'd say that proves that 120 statistically would be favored here on the neutral map. Yeah, this is Moon's second map. Yeah, okay. It's not neutral. Neutral is the opening. But yeah, it still proves that 120 has a better map value. I'd say he would be statistically a bit more likely. Undead Fexpo? No, he's just creeping it and getting it ready for later. At this time on Last Refuge, DK was level 1 and was slowly trying to get level 2, and he did eventually, but he was lower health, he had a Staff of Telly, and he was entangled, surrounded to go back home, which created space for Moon. Now he has no access to a Staff of Telly. He is healthier on his Death Knight, but Moon finishes up his creep camp, gets a Claws of Attack, and nearly Keeper level 3. Is now returning home to clear his own expansion and to take it. 120 is already well on the way to tier 3. His Lich is 80%, his tier 3 is 30. And now he tries to get the Renegade Wizard level 5. Pendant of Energy, 100 mana. That's good for DK. Coils his ghoul and keeps it alive. Bash on the Keeper. Nova. Coil. And he TPs on the Coil. Moon, my dude. He's creeping with tree of life and huntresses same time. Got the level up from it. But he can't root here because the item is blocking him. So he's gonna eat into the trees to make space. And I see more of this stuff. Moon. A bit distraught. A bit shocked. Less endurance. Hero standing still for a few seconds. In a manner that is uncharacteristic for people's first map. It's difficult to keep your concentration over such a long best of 5. Everyone starts playing with a bit more mistakes. But 120 with remarkably few so far. Double claws of attack on the keeper, but no TP this time. The mental energy expended to keep your concentration and your mind fit over a best of 5 with that Amazonia game lasting 45 minutes is really something. Steady creeping by 120. Night Elf is never happy when Undead is able to creep like this. Even if they have the expansion, Undead's efficiency in fights against basic armies like this is something truly to be reckoned with. Keeper pulled back so that Alchemist can get the lion's share of the experience. All of it, in fact. The lion eats all. Nothing left for the hyena. Alchemist level 2.1. Gets Chemical Rage once again. Is this mass archers? Unlikely. It is more likely fairy dragons. And there we go. First 2 fairies. Web is already on the way. Destroyer upgrade 90%. Skeleton reveals the Ogre Mage and Coil is here to steal it, and he does. Moon nonetheless kept attacking the creep because he knows sooner or later that Coil will steal the mage anyway. He's got no skill-based way to get the Ogre Mage for himself. So he attacks it anyway, accepts his loss, and knows that so long as he has proximity to the creep, at the very least he will get the item. Moonstone is used. 46 food for 120. No third hero. Not that useful. And Moon tries to squeeze out one more creep camp. He can use the buffer of the health of his Tree of Life to get him an entire new creep camp, which should give him Alchemist level 2.9 if he doesn't bring Keeper in, and he hasn't. But he's running out of time. Tree, half-life. Alchemist picks up some creeps, but he actually interrupts his creeping. Didn't take the item even. Didn't get all the creeps. He's running out of time. Huntress getting attacked. First Huntress going down easily. Unarmored against piercing and magic damage. Fairy Dragon with Mana Flare after it got webbed. Still goes down. Lich level 2. Now has Frost Armor. Good against Alchemist. Acid Bomb on a cluster of Fiends. Another Huntress goes down. Fiend getting attacked. It dies. Focus Fire on the Obsidian statue. It cannot get coiled. Destroyer gets coiled. Drops lower and lower. Fairy Dragons get webbed. No Mana Flare yet. Fairy Dragon takes a lot of damage. Now with the Mana Flare, but it has almost no life left. Skeletons could finish the Mana Flaring Fairy Dragon, but it's the Lich that does so. And this big chase that we are so used to when we see mass fairies against a kiting, webbing, coiling, devouring undead. 2 more hits required to kill the Fiend. Does he get it? He does. Alchemist level 3. Mana Flaring Webbed Fairy Dragon getting focused. Statues getting focused. 50 versus 38 food. 120's gold is ramping up heavily. He's got a lot of gold. He's not producing that much. Every one of his micros and attention is going into the battle. Lack of multitasking. 830 gold. It's so important to keep up the pressure as the undead with this. Fiend goes down. It's looking good for Moon. Now 120 makes a round of units. He's lost his Destroyer. He's lost the number of Fiends. The Tree of Life is mining. Chemical Rage. Acid Bomb. And he's just there hitting the Alchemist, hitting the Keeper. DK has no way to save himself. Stays here nonetheless. A strange sight. Trading blows with the Night Elf heroes that can heal from the Moonwells. We spoke about endurance. Moon's age. Moon is 12 years the senior of 120. 11 to 12 years.
一位玩家的部队正遭到攻击。
But is it 120 who lost more mental energy? His level seems to have suffered a little bit. The fight is always difficult against fairy dragons. Another clause of attack on Alchemist. Oh man. $56 food. Hunter's Hole there to get upgrades for fairy dragons. That's one of the really big advantages. When you do Moon's Hunters expand, you're stronger against Ghoul Harass, and you've got your Hunter's Hole ready already to upgrade your fairy dragons. You don't need Hunter's Hole for fairy dragons, but at least you can upgrade them. Because without those attack upgrades, they actually do too little damage, man. And once you start pumping fairies, you never have money to add Hunter's Hole anymore, so this is kind of cool. Level 2 Unholy Aura. Entangle on the Fiend could be a way to get it killed. Focus Fire on the Alchemist. It's so purple, I've never seen it properly. Like the whole thing is purple during Chem Rage. Freaking funny. Mana Flare, Fairy Dragon goes down. Level up for the Lich. Level 3 Lich. Nova level 2. Why not put the claws on Keeper like usual? True, normally you would. But it's because he has Chemical Rage that Moon decided to put it on the Alchemist. Chemical Rage is a large attack speed increase. So he is likely to get many hits in with those claws. With the Alchemist. Not if he hits Frost Armor, but otherwise yes. Moon tried to bide the perfect time to move in. Right when the Goldmine is closest. Big Nova on the Wisps. Entangled Goldmine not dead yet. But that was a good move for 120. He loses one Fiend nearly, not quite. Devour too late. One Fiend goes down. But 120 cannot stay to finish off the webbed Fiends. The webbed Fairy Dragons. Mana Flare immediately on the webbed dragons. All three of them. Heal Scroll. There are too many aerial units for 120 to kill off. What can he even kill against this many 2-0 upgraded Fairy Dragons? Nova on the Alchemist. Another Coil, Devour, Entangle sequence on the Fiend. 120 is doing a good job. He saved it, but now Destroyer goes down. The two heroes stayed behind to kill a single Fairy Dragon. That's the desperation of the situation for 120. DK Focus Fire. DK Focus Fire and dies! GG! Moon does it! And goes to the semi-finals! His Fairy Dragon strategy works again. It's so hard to micro against this. Maybe Happy could have done it. We'll never know. Happy didn't play. And 120 played some incredible games. Nearly did the reverse sweep. But Moon's varied strategies allowed him to feel out what 120 is best again and to rehash. Out of the 4 builds he used, the ones he felt like his most reliable and certain to work on Echo Isles. We thought Fairy Dragons barely gets used anymore against Undead, but Moon with some small changes uses it again. Hunter's Opener. Great game between two fantastic competitors, but it's Moon that shall come out ahead with a 3-2 score. And he'll be joining in the semi-finals tomorrow. Lawliot and Infi. Tournament bracket. 3-2. Moon versus 120 will be here. Infi 3-0'd Foggy. And Lawliot 3-0's Lin.